Hey Theater Geeks, I'm Emma Lee and welcome to Musical Mondays. Today's topic, January show closures and stunt casting. January is a sad time for a Broadway fan. There are always a handful of shows that have barely squeaked through the holiday season and are now slated to close. This year, in terms of musicals, Cinderella, Once, Pippin, and Sideshow have already closed, and Motown and Rock of Ages will close later this month. There are many reasons shows close, and these shows have all been running for very different lengths of time, ranging from Sideshow, which ran just under 2 months, to Rock of Ages, which will have run for over 5 years upon closing. When a show is in trouble, producers will often employ tactics to keep a show running. One of those tactics is stunt casting. Stunt casting is when a celebrity is brought into a show, generally in a leading role, for the purpose of boosting ticket sales. And while stunt casting may get general public butts in seats, it often makes diehard theater fans uneasy. There is always talk of how such and such Broadway star could have played the role better, and scoffing at the idea of stunt casting in general. Of the 6 musicals that are closing this January, 4 of them use stunt casting at some point in their run. The 2 that did not are Sideshow and Motown. The biggest culprit of stunt casting in our group is arguably Cinderella. Cinderella started stunt casting as soon as original cast members began leaving. The first replacement for Ella was Carly Rae Jepsen, and Keke Palmer closed the show in the title role. Cinderella's producers also stunt cast for the role of the stepmother, featuring Fran Drescher, Sherry Shepherd, and Nene Leakes throughout the run. And yet Cinderella is only the 3rd longest running show on our list, and it barely ran longer than Pippin and Motown, all 3 of which will have clocked in just under 2 years of performances. And our longest running show, Rock of Ages, has barely used stunt casting. The original Broadway cast starred Constantine Maroulis and opened shortly after his stint on American Idol, which probably helped the show get off the ground. However, Rock of Ages producers did not use stunt casting again until recently, when Constantine rejoined the company and YouTubers Chester C. and Frankie Grande were cast in featured roles. Once and Pippin only had momentary instances of stunt casting. For much of 2013, Arthur Darvill of Doctor Who fame played Guy in Once, and Pippin recently brought on Josh Kaufman, who won last season of The Voice, in the title role. So did stunt casting really help any of these shows? For Once, it's pretty clear stunt casting did not. Once's attendance and grosses actually dipped after Arthur Darvill joined the cast, and remained steady after he left. As for Pippin and Rock of Ages, it's hard to say. Casting Josh Kaufman as Pippin could have just been a failed Hail Mary to keep the show running a bit longer. And while Constantine Maroulis' presence in Rock of Ages at the start probably gave it a big push, it could be argued that bringing him back and including YouTubers in their cast were a similar Hail Mary. And as for Cinderella, it could certainly be the case that casting celebrities helped the run, but there isn't much evidence of how the show did without the aid of stunt casting. All in all, stunt casting seems to be a mixed bag. Sometimes it helps a show, sometimes it doesn't. And while it may get people from the general public in seats, it always seems to leave avid Broadway fans apprehensive, no matter how amazing the performances end up being. My opinion is, if someone clearly deserves a role, give it to them, no matter what their celebrity is. However, if you're just casting someone for their name and they don't fit the part they are filling, maybe it's best to get someone who can do the job right. But those are just my opinions. What are your thoughts on stunt casting? Let me know in the comments below, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more theater-related videos.